Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, and Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was the 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, this was the highlight of my soccer career, to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the McGuire Cup.
Winning the McGuire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period. That's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied McGuire Cup?
This tournament, it's great competition. I mean, you just have to work. All these teams belong here. All these teams work to get here.
So the competition was fantastic from start to finish, and when you get to play in a facility like this, it makes it even more worthwhile traveling the 6.5 hours to get here.
We sacrificed a lot, time, and like our summer. So I really think that if we keep with that, we'll be on pace for a great time at nationals.
Just an overall great performance. Came out in the second half, was able to close it out and get that regional victory that we wanted.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shields Soccer Complex here in Overland Park, Kansas, site of the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Brought to you by Turbo Sports Group. I'm Todd Panula, and I'm here to bring you all of today's exciting 14 and under boys group action between MSC Academy out of Mundelein, Illinois, and Libertyville FC out of Libertyville, Illinois. These teams only about 5-10 minutes away from each other, so they've come all the way to nationals just to face a familiar foe. Let's give you some of the starting lineups. We'll start for MSC Academy. It's going to be Axel Gutierrez, Ivan Villegas, Ernesto Perez, Jesus Garcia, Reyes Parra, Armando Garcia, Oscar Martinez, Luis Salinas, Jonathan Rivera, and in goal it's Gustavo Ponce. For Libertyville FC, it's going to be Alec Leroy, Miguel Garcia, Roman Lynch, Rohan Gopalam, Andrew Phillips, Alan Alonso, Raymond Sereno, Zach Holt, Drew France, Owen Zakruski, and in goal, it's Alex Lopez. We open things off, and this is going to be a rather interesting game. It's going to be the red with black shorts for MSC, countered by the I guess you'd call that kind of a black with gray trim for Libertyville FC. They're going right to left. MSC going left to right. Underway here in the first minute of play. First day of this national tournament. 3 games guaranteed. After that, you have to be some of the best of the best to make it to the knockout rounds. These two teams hoping to solidify a solid positioning within their group here today. Lopez, with a strong right foot, lands that one just short of the half line. Chasing this one down. Ponce able to play it. Too tall off the throw from Zakruski. $11 o'clock kickoff here, local time. That's basically the time that everybody that's going to be watching is most likely in. Want to welcome you in, for those of you watching from Illinois. Have family up that direction, and the DeKalb area, personally. A lot of Midwestern teams represented here at this national tournament, though. Midwest always supplying a lot of good teams, but it seems like an even higher number during this year's tournament than in years past. MSC getting here via the regional championship. Liberty, the National League. We'll get into that a little bit more as the game continues. Chested down by Rivera. Rivera tussles with it. Villegas lost possession. Rivera played it right into the defender. Second opportunity. Instead, it's Villegas. Gutierrez was calling for it. Instead, Libertyville goes off the other direction. Libertyville, once again, with those jerseys that say FC 1974 on the back. Libertyville working up the far sideline, trying to slot it through into the middle. Villegas had that one thwarted. A lot of energy coming out of both teams right now, but so far it's kind of been possession traded back and forth. Gutierrez got a touch onto that one, but no possession. Gopalam tried to slide that one up the wing, cut out by Garcia. Garcia back the other way. Headed down by Libertyville. Shaken up just a little bit, looked like Salinas. MSC going to get possession off the throw. They'll do it all over again a little bit further down the pitch. Intending to get that one to Gutierrez. Libertyville trying to find the counterattack. Too strong on that initial touch, though. One kind of rolled up the foot of Ponce. Villegas had that one knocked away, but Holt had the favor returned. This one towards the goal, fanning on it just a little bit was Lopez. He's out of his goal now. They put it towards the top of the box, a shot towards that far post, and it's wide. Luis Salinas with the best chance of this game here in the early going. Just about 5 minutes played. They weren't able to take advantage of the miscue by Lopez. Lopez was out of his goal. He was trying to get back into position, and I don't think he would have had that one covered had that been a little bit closer to that post. Jesus Garcia trying to get it over to Martinez. Back the other way. It doesn't quite connect with Garcia. That's Miguel Garcia. Three Garcias in total playing in this match. All three of them out on the field as well. Two of them for MSC. Good crossing ball. Ponce had a little bit of trouble handling it, but in the end, he was able to smother that one. Trying to knock that one away from behind is Zakruski. Able to knock it away from Oscar Martinez. Over the top again. This time it connects. Garcia. Brought down by Phillips in the midfield. Looking for Garcia. It slots through the defenders. Garcia! Just couldn't get that one to settle down. It wouldn't stay properly down to where he could do something clever with it. So the first good shot of the game, although it didn't end up on target, goes the way of MSC. Libertyville with a chance of their own, dangerously into the box, but they were unable to get that one solidly under possession for Miguel Garcia. Zakruski towards the edge of the 6-yard box, settles down, and that'll be out for a corner kick off the goalkeeper. Confident goalkeeping coming out to get a piece of that one. You see that one popped up high in the air, difficult to deal with on the initial chance. Then it comes towards goal. But Ponce coming out, making sure that that wasn't going to be just an easy tap in. A better angle there. You know you're going to get hit in that instance. You got to be brave to come out and get a hand on that one. Towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Now back the other way we go. Salinas, some speed. Slowed it up just a little bit, trying to allow the numbers to push forward. Rivera gave it away, but it was... to play. Cut down by Villegas. Strong left foot over the top of the defender, but much too direct with runner over on the long balls high up into the air, taking their chances whether or not they can come down with them. So far, neither team all that successful. Right on the midfield stripe. Well played into the box, but that's actually going to have too much on it. And over for the goal kick. Brought down by Gutierrez. Now Libertyville pushing up onto the far side, sending one across, and it wouldn't settle down. Holt, I think he wanted to get that right foot onto it, realized he needed to go with the left, and by that time there wasn't an opportunity. Martinez with Phillips right on his back. Phillips steps in again, but Martinez keeps on going. Step over move. Gets him a little bit of space. Cheeky little pass through the defenders, and then a bit too ambitious there for Salinas. The left-hand side. Back to Libertyville. There's a player actually down about 5 yards outside of the center circle. Still scoreless here in the first half. We apologize for any technical difficulties going on. Uceni comes into the game, and Villegas comes out. Zakruski up to Holt. Holt trying to turn it back the other direction. Cut out. Holt spins around and then takes it right back into the teeth of the defense. Pass is well spotted and then played off the foot of Martinez as it goes over the near side touchline. Just about halfway through this first half, so we're in the 18th minute. Once again off of Martinez and out. So we'll do it over a little further down the field. Miguel Garcia once again putting his arm up in the air. He's tried that a couple times. And it's going to draw the attention of the official, but perhaps not in the way that he might want. He went to ground for a moment, seemed to be kind of favoring his lower back for just a second, but he's shaking it off. Throw-ins galore right now for Libertyville FC as they continue to push into the attacking third, well into it now, but being hemmed in along the sideline so far. Holt trying to step in there. Up through the midfield, onto the foot of Salinas. He's had one of the best scoring opportunities here for either team so far. Nothing really on target for either team. '20th minute of play now. Roughly 15 minutes remaining here in the first half in regulation. It's been some hard physical play between these two teams, as we mentioned in the open. They're practically neighbors, living just down the road a bit. And that's just the luck of the draw sometimes. MSC, as we mentioned, got here by way of the regional championships, winning the Midwest. They won their final by a score of 2-1 over Nationals Union. This one hops up into the air, a little hard for Martinez to bring down cleanly initially. He's got it down on the feet now, serves one back in towards the middle. Holt is right on the back. Martinez again, but pressure there. Martinez all the way back. Pressure was coming from Garcia, and that hurried up the kick from Jesus. Somewhat of a bicycle attempt there. Some calls for dangerous play come from the far sideline, but no whistle. Tried to lob that one over the top to Salinas. He was in behind the defender, but the ball didn't make it. Good shot attempt from Gutierrez. Will go off the defender and out, so it'll be a corner kick. Positive chance to put one in towards goal here for MSC Academy. Just outside the 6-yard box, some pushing going on there. A few bodies fell to ground, but ultimately it just ends up out for the goal kick. Beautiful day here in Overland Park, coming to you live at the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex. This complex no stranger to hosting tournaments of this size, having taken place in some of the regionals in the past. First time in quite some time that they've hosted the national tournament, which has taken place in Frisco, Texas, the last few years. Lobbing one over the top. And that had to be dealt with by the defender. Otherwise, that was going to be a one-time strike for Jonathan Rivera. And he was about to put the laces really through it. Another corner kick opportunity for MSC, their second in a row. 23rd minute, about to cross over into the 24th. Libertyville about to check in a duo of substitutes. And a wasted opportunity there as they tried to kind of slice it inside that near post, and it cut way too early. Coming into the game now for Libertyville is going to be August Lombardo, as well as Saul Valadez. A substitute will also come in now for MSC. It's going to be Eric Chavez, one of the leading goal scorers on his team. He had 3 goals in the regional tournament alone. So Chavez trying to give his team a little bit of a change of pace. Whereas Libertyville continues with their substitutions. They're going to bring in a third one after their initial 2 were allowed. Ryan Motes will come into the game. Through passes, very difficult to come by for both of these teams right now. They continually looking to push it outside and then quickly back in, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to draw the defenders in on those attempts quite yet. One more substitution coming in for Libertyville is Tyler Witz will come into the game. And Chavez will finally be allowed onto the pitch as well for MSC. Third match of the day, but first of the tournament for both of these two teams. That's one of the benefits of playing on the artificial turf, though, is you don't have to worry about the grass being pounded into oblivion by the middle of the day, especially if there's any weather that rolls by. And the forecast this morning basically said there shouldn't be anything but clear skies until the weekend, but this is the Midwest, and people from Illinois know how that works out. Salinas lines it up towards the far wing, gives it off to Para. His pocket was picked as it's sent up towards the far wing. Racing onto it is Valadez. He got the cross in, but took a touch on the way through, and that took a lot of the sting out of it. Trying to counter once again, Chavez. Put up by Para. Too close to goal, though. Is coming out to make the claim was Lopez. Somebody on the back of Motes, but he's able to keep away from it. Holds on to it just a little bit too long, and then the left-footed pass wasn't quite where he needed it. Jesus send it back. That was very dangerous on the part of Perez, as he had Valadez right in his kitchen. Both teams trying to build possession and come up from the back, as the long balls haven't really worked. And then as I say that, MSC sends a long ball up towards the line. Here comes Gutierrez. He wants to put a right foot into it, and once again, a little too ambitious, as that's probably from a good 25, 30 yards out. 28th minute of play, and now the 29th. So roughly 7 minutes left, plus any time tacked on. Kansas wind begins to pick up a little bit. It's been fairly steady throughout the day, although nothing too blustery. Right now, not even picking up the corner flags that much, at least here on the near sideline. Far sideline, blowing mostly left to right. So favoring MSC as of right now. Put one up top, but it hops over. Zakruski out-muscled, and then it went off his toe. That's going to be a throw-in for MSC. Quickly back in, settled down by Useni. He relieves the pressure by going backward as they switch the point of attack to the far wing. Possession once again traded back and forth in the midfield. Here comes MSC, and once again kind of giving up at the last moment. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Smartly done not to just blast one up towards the midfield, keeping possession. Para. All the way back. Coach Petrov a little more appreciative of what he's seen out of his team in the last few moments. MSC Academy pushing up the left-hand side, but once again, just not quite on for Martinez. He's tried different wings as they try to switch things up, give Libertyville a little bit of a different look each time, but in none of the instances has it seemed to really make that much of a difference. Bit of a knock from behind. Drew a few calls for the official to blow the whistle on the far sideline. Play continues. Martinez takes a spill. Libertyville comes up with the ball. Wasn't quite on there for Miguel Garcia. Chance here for Jesus Garcia. Jesus up the line for Chavez. And he can't quite catch up to it. And that's one of the downfalls. I mentioned one of the perks of playing on artificial turf, but right there you see one of the downfalls is if you're playing on natural grass, that might have a little more bite to it, might stay in play. But difficult to kind of test those out on a little bit of a smoother surface. A little over 2 minutes left here in regulation in the first half. MSC going to put in another late substitute here. Martinez will get a breather, and coming in is Aaron. Stepping up to take the free kick is Leroy. Gives it a little spin, and then he's going to put a right footer into it. Line drive towards the edge of the 18, falls right in that semicircle out there. Valadez. Para sends it away, at least momentarily. Salinas able to win it in the midfield. And again, once it goes over towards those sidelines, it just seems like it is eaten up and played out every single time. Just about 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Hasn't been too much in the way of stoppages, so it'll be interesting to see if they tack on any time at the end of this one. Game seems to have really settled in now. Not too much flow for either team. Pushed up by Miguel. Dangerously played there by Ponce. Give it away with the goalkeeper out, but unable to do too much with it so far. coming over at the last moment to steal that one away was Perez. And we get our answer there only about 20 seconds into stoppage time. They blow the whistle, so the first half is done. Zeros up on the board as we enter the break. And speaking of that, we will take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have your second half of action between MSC Academy and Libertyville FC. Scoreless going into the break. More with this coming from Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex just in a moment. Bag tags. Target. Chipotle. Expand a brand. Dick's Sporting Goods. MLS. NCSA. Nike. Positive Coaching Alliance. Premier International Tours. Soccer Shots. Sunmade. T.A. Petro. United Soccer Coaches. U.S. Soccer Federation. And Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run.
Welcome back to Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex here in Overland Park, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City, as we continue on with the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Day number one, game number one for these two teams, MSC Academy and Libertyville FC. 0-0 is your score at the break, as we are just about set to kick things off here in the second 35. It's going to be MSC with possession. They are once again clad in the red uniforms with the black trunks, countered with the black and gray for Libertyville FC. Salinas gets us underway as he sends it all the way back towards the defensive line for Gutierrez, who's pushed back a little further. He was in more of an attacking midfield role earlier in the contest, and now he's pushing a little bit more forward, but seems to be more in kind of a defensive midfield role, playing just on top of the back four right now. But kind of fluid situation right now for Coach Petrov's crew, as they're trying to search for anything, as Coach Marin's team is as well, because right now chances have been hard to come by for either one of these teams, and both teams did a little bit with their possession. It's not as though they didn't create anything. They were very good in control of the ball, but then there were too many balls that were trying to go over the top that just weren't necessarily weighted correctly or timed correctly, and were ultimately cut out by the defense pretty well so far. And so we get an early stoppage here just on the north side of the midfield for MSC. Once again, they are now heading right to left as we've switched spots. Nicely lofted in, spilled for a moment there by the goalkeeper, but ultimately claimed in the end by Lopez. That one didn't go the direction that Mangato would have liked. Chested down by Alonso. Gopalam all the way back. And see, that's kind of what we were talking about, is that was misplayed by Mangato, but really the long ball over the top was not well served in that position. And then you can tell Coach Memo not really happy with the way things are going with his team. Settled down by Alonso, looking for some help. Left-footed cross, but it was curling out the entire time. Libertyville once again comes up with some possession. Gopalam looking for options. Pressure coming from Salinas from behind. And a foul given. Its contact was made from behind. Going to have an early substitution coming in for MSC. Returning to the game when given the opportunity will be Useni. Still down on the ground is Villegas. And he was the one that got substituted in the first half when Useni came in, so perhaps giving it a go after picking up that knock in the first half, and doesn't seem like it's going to work out. Kind of grabbing towards the backside, so I mean that could be anything really. Perhaps a hamstring issue, but That's for the player and the trainers to decide. Nevertheless, a free kick opportunity for Libertyville. They're going to go for goal, and that ends up a good couple yards over the target. Just sliding that one past Gutierrez. Libertyville doing a little bit more with possession here. Dangerously in, spilled by the goalkeeper. They score! A seemingly innocuous ball towards goal ends up in the twine, and Libertyville has a 1-0 lead. And that's why you put the ball towards goal, ladies and gentlemen. That's more of a moniker you'd send towards hockey, that it's never a bad thing to put it on goal, but it applies here as well. Not sure that was even intended to be a shot, but it ended up working out nevertheless. You see the spill by the goalkeeper there. And that'll be interesting to see how they award that. As it was Zakruski to get the last touch on it for his team. And then just kind of a misjudged play by Ponce. But now Libertyville smelling a little bit of blood in the water. Alonso cuts up from the right-hand side. Plays it off the defender and gains a corner. So Zakruski has made this a 1-0 lead in favor of Libertyville FC. Trying to increase that lead with a set-piece opportunity here off the corner kick. Arms up in the air and the ball served in towards the near post. Dealt with as that was curling somewhat awkwardly to be handled. Another opportunity from Zakruski. This one doesn't quite get where he wanted it. Headed down by Lynch. Now Gonzalez. Smartly played here along the near sideline as Libertyville building in confidence. Trying it over through the midfield. Miguel Garcia takes it left now. Into touch along the far sideline. This time, take it away. Still plenty of time in this half. But with the goal seemingly coming out of nowhere, MSC going to be a little bit more hard-pressed for the rest of this half. Free kick taken by Libertyville, playing it up towards the forward. And Garcia knotted it on. Zakruski. Into touch, back for MSC. Saul Valadez warming up along the near sideline, about to come back in for Libertyville. 45th minute of play, 1-0 in favor of Libertyville. With the ball into touch once again, we'll get our substitution. Valadez coming back in. Valadez replaces Sereno. Libertyville finding it a little bit easier to string some more passes back. MSC has done a good job in defending, but that goal just seems to have switched the point of momentum a little bit. Held in along the near side touchline. MSC trying to push forward onto the attack. Para couldn't quite hold it in. And this one will go out once again. MSC getting a lot of lobbing one over the top. Salinas gave a little bump there as he played the challenge on it. Nothing comes of it, though, as it goes into touch once again. Rivera will return to action now for MSC as he comes back in for Zelaya. Throw in for Armando. Armando to Salinas. Spun around. Ball stayed in along the line the entire time. Miguel Garcia had that one just over the top. Perez switches back to the left. Salinas wanted to one-time it. Instead tried to put it back across towards the back post. There was a player coming in along the far side. That was Martinez. But the ball just bounced away from him. Jesus up the line. Martinez watches it roll into touch. Too close along the sideline for him to keep that in. Martinez walking that tightrope. He'll gain another throw. This one out. Be a corner kick. Perhaps the first decent opportunity coming up for MSC in this half. It's going to be a left footer. It'll swing in towards the goal with the wind pushing it back the other way. They go right towards the goal, right into the scramble. And there was enough contact there to draw the whistle. Stepping into it was Rivera to keep that one from continuing on. MSC, once again, just not keeping possession for long enough. Here comes Libertyville on the counter. That didn't last long either. Slided over for the far side. They were trying to get it on to Martinez. Not quite there. Libertyville building more possession numbers. And then they tried to go over the top for Alonso. Wasn't quite there. Phillips able to steal that one. Alonso trying to get that one through. Holt was waiting for it. Intercepted by Para. Alonso came back. Unnecessary, though, as his defender was able to clear it away. Holt, once again, just watches it kind of ping-pong around him. Lunges himself towards the defender, but again, not coming down with the ball. Alonso. Holt cutting out towards the right. The pass went to the left. Martinez kind of scrambling around over on the far sideline, doing all he can. Good slide tackle there to knock that one out of play. Player down now for Libertyville. As the injuries seem to be coming with a little more frequency. A couple substitutions about to come in for both teams, one for each. It'll be a pair of number 11s. It's Chavez and Lombardo coming in for their respective teams. Also going to come in for Libertyville is Ryan Motes. Served into the box, not cleanly dealt with by the defender, but ultimately cleared away. Here's Gutierrez. Garcia, that's Armando. Armando leaves it. Rivera with Armando making the crossover run. Here's Martinez, curls it towards goal! Took a hard skip, and a good save made by Lopez. Solid strike coming off the foot of Oscar Martinez. There's a missed kick coming from Gutierrez. Holt is right there. And we get a whistle, and the ball will be coming out. Holt doing a lot of the dirty work that you're not going to get recognized for up on the top line here for Libertyville, but if nothing else, he's been a nuisance for this MSC defender. Perhaps the whole group, really. Martinez gets the return pass. Oscar Martinez laid it off to Chavez. MSC trying to switch the point of attack. Instead, they go up the gut. Might have been wiser to continue it along that umbrella movement. Now here's Holt spinning around the defender. Got past Mangado. Back the other way. Rivera takes on a few too many defenders. through the middle. Holt. Kept in along the near sideline by Rivera. Holt takes a diving stab at it, doesn't come up with it. Rivera thwarted on the second attempt. Or calls for handball. There's another player down for Libertyville along the near sideline, just outside of your screen. That's Holt down, but Libertyville not in possession. Now flick towards goal and another save. Lopez coming up with a left hand to parry that one away. Again towards goal, and this one ends up just wide. Flag was up, wouldn't have counted had it gone in anyway. So the substitution made. Holt is out. Into the game is Andrew Phillips. Phillips entering the game with his team up by 1 goal. A 25th minute goal by Owen Zakruski. MSC trying to keep this one in the attacking third. Gets back out towards the midfield. Stabbed away here nicely along the near sideline. Stepping into it was Lombardo. Time starting to become a precious commodity here. Just about 58 minutes played. Rivera keeping it along that touchline. Kept it in, but then not enough on the cross as he was kind of falling away from the play. Numbers pushing forward, though, for MSC. Counterattack could be had if Libertyville can clear it out, but right now they have to worry about defending. Chavez all the way back. Played back up towards the box. Good diving header to clear it away. Perez sees the block coming, so keeps it in possession. One time across. Looking for that back post. Numbers still favoring Libertyville so far. Perez with the shot. Spilled initially by Lopez, but it fell right in front of him, and it was an easy grab after that. Sub about to be made for Libertyville as Witts will return to the game. Handball called. Free kick favors MSC. Coaching staff for Libertyville telling Valadez that they want him in the box, utilize his height. The free kick goes over the top of the defenders, but nobody really in behind, so it was kind of too direct. Libertyville trying to catch them with numbers forward, pushing up the left-hand side. Here's Valadez. trying to return the favor for Miguel Garcia. Valadez goes to ground. And it'll be a goal kick. Wits will finally have an opportunity to check into the game. So Wits comes in. Moats is out. Opportunity here for Garcia. He's taken down. He's going to draw the free kick just outside the semicircle. And a card handed out. You'd call that a professional foul. Not too much he could have done. Needed to slow down the player. Otherwise, it was nothing between him and the goal, but a lot of green space. I believe that was Gutierrez who was put in the book. Don't take that as the gospel, though. So it was Gutierrez. A couple players with an opportunity to take this kick. Zakruski's already got a goal. He's going to take the left footer, going towards that far post and punched away. Another good shot. This time the goalkeeper got his body in behind it. That goes off of Wits as he spills to the ground, but it'll be a goal kick. Little under 8 minutes to go here in the second half. 1-0 off a 45th minute goal by Owen Zakruski. It came shortly after a free kick. It was intended to just be a cross that I don't know if it was hit the way that he wanted. But the goalkeeper came out, jumped just a split second too early. Wasn't able to adjust to it, and the ball went off his fingertips and then into the back of the goal. That has stood the test of time here in the second half. Few step over moves, nothing much coming from it. Mangado gets a return pass. Wits stepped in there. Passing lanes available, but not too much space to push forward. Good defending right now from Libertyville. Although here's a bit of space now for Armando Garcia. Hands it off to Rivera. He puts it into the box. And again, possession a bit wasted as the defender sliding in was just enough to throw off the direction of that kick. MSC trying to build through the middle as they serve it outside now. Stolen by Valadez. Given right back. Chavez. Mentioned he had 3 goals in the regional. Calls for handball go unheeded. Into touch. Substitution going to come in for Libertyville. It's going to be Roman Lynch. Not on this opportunity. And that one will roll out for the corner. So returning to the game as well, it's going to be Zach Holt. Libertyville taking their time here on the substitution. So Holt is actually going to come in first. Lynch not yet. So they send in Holt for his size on this corner kick attempt. Headed towards the edge of the box. Bicycle attempt. A good thrust towards goal there for MSC, but ultimately Perez just couldn't quite get the foot fully through the ball. So Lynch comes in, Labardo goes out. And another corner kick coming up. MSC starting to build a little bit more now here in the later stages of the second half. They just need one goal to at least get themselves into a situation where they can get a point. We'll do it all over again from the same spot. Another corner kick. More towards the middle of the goal there. Lopez spilled it initially, but then found it in a maze of bodies. Quickly back into play. Lobbing this one over the top. Alonso, he's got some speed and he's running towards goal. But Ponce was able to come out and kick it away. Try to get it to Alonso. One-time shot off the post. It comes back out. It just wasn't quite there for Gopalam. Over the top, looking for Holt. Flag stayed down. Ooh, that's a crunching tackle there. We'll see if there's any card coming out for that one. You're going to allow the substitution. Miguel Garcia will come in for Libertyville. Looks like he's going to replace Saul Valadez. The free kick specialist, Owen Zakruski, will go over and take this one. You see Zakruski setting it up. Libertyville not pushing too many numbers forward as they know they can't be caught on a counter. That one difficult to handle. It bounced right in front. Goalkeeper got a paw onto it. Finally cleared away. And now we have a player down. I believe that's Oscar Martinez down in the box. He is still down. Official calling for a substitution. The injury bug jumping up and biting MSC Academy right now. We've already lost one player. And potentially in danger of losing a second. Although Martinez doesn't seem too worse for wear as he went over the end line and will come back to the bench along the long way. But nevertheless, health, a bit of a concern now for MSC Academy going forward in this tournament. Pushing his way past, though, is Perez. Slides one here to the near side for Rivera. Dealt with by the defender, coming back to pick it up.
Hey, watch on the flick, watch on the long throw. Alan. Hey, we Rama, play right here. Come on, Zach.
Perez puts it into the mixer. We get a whistle, and it was offside. Now Reyes here on the near side. Time ticket away on this one. Going to ground was Perez. Draws the free kick. It gets an admonishing there for Lynch. So the free kick just past that logo. About 35 yards out. Perez going for goal. It's difficult to deal with. Defender clears it away from the line. Still scrambling for it. MSC trying to keep it in. And there it is. The whistle has blown. 1-0 is your final. Libertyville FC knocks off MSC Academy. A goal by Owen Zakruski ends up standing the test of time and gives Libertyville 3 points in their group. So an important win for the Libertyville squad. The National League white champions coming in. A good game overall in the second half. First half, there was a lot of back and forth. Not too much to be had in possession, but the second half opened up just a little bit more. Both teams with some good opportunities, and Libertyville ultimately getting the best of it. So that will do it for us here for Turbo Sports Group, for all our great camera crew and Scott turning the dials in the truck. I'm Todd Panula. Hope you all enjoyed today's contest. Until the next time, this is us signing off from the Shields Soccer Complex here in Overland Park, Kansas. See you next time.